Welcome to a summer edition of That Floats. How you been?
Hey, good, buddy. Summer of 2021, quite different than summer of 2020.
Exactly. COVID's all gone now, right?
You remember that? Remember
Yeah.
2020?
Yeah. COVID's gone now, right? All
It's gone, but then today they said it's back or something. And then the CDC says, you know, that thing about getting vaccinated, getting that microchip implanted in your arm so you didn't have to wear a mask. I'm kidding on the microchip thing. But yeah, I looked like the CDC said today that probably in some areas where COVID's still heavy, that the vaccinated people need to put their mask back on. So
Yeah. Hey, apparently Delta variant's still pretty transmissible, and it's kind of a problem if people get their jab. Just saying.
right.
Hey,
Yeah.
do it for the kids.
So big news in the title industry, Dave. I don't know if you've been watching the news lately, but
Wait, did you buy another company?
We are speaking at NS3.
Oh, I thought you were going to announce you bought another company. It's like every other day.
Well, what did we buy? Yeah, we're in Orlando. We've got two beautiful offices in Orlando now, and I've got some great restaurants. So
There you go.
next time you and I are down there, I've got some great spots.
Let's do it.
But
But yeah, NS3's fast approaching.
coming up.
And I'm sure a topic of conversation at NS3, which is very techy, will be what just happened with Cloudstar. So
What happened with Cloudstar?
this is what you call a segue, as those of us in the biz call it that. So
Yeah, what a mess.
unfortunately, yeah, a big ransomware attack, and there were quite a few title agents that were affected by this.
So ransomware. I'll start for the low-level nerds in our audience here, people that aren't as techy, let's just say. So what? Ransomware? Someone's got a hold of your stuff, and they're
Yeah,
not
let me give you an example of how this could affect Nightberry. Okay, so
How about we not use Nightberry?
well, Sherry Hippenbecker clicks on one of her chain emails,
Yeah.
that she loves so much. And unfortunately, that's got a virus in it, a computer virus.
Right.
You might have learned from Armageddon, or not Armageddon. What was, Independence Day. Independence Day. They killed the aliens with the, edit that out. They killed the aliens with the computer virus. Jeff Goldblum thought that up. So, you know what? Hackers are using a computer virus, not the COVID-19 virus, but a computer virus to basically lock you out of your data. And as a result, it, the ransomware, they say you pay up and we'll give you your data back. Don't pay and you're done. So unfortunately, Cloudstar, I don't know the specifics of it, but somewhere there's a vulnerability or somebody clicked on the wrong thing and they were able to get in there. And usually it's not the fault of the companies. It's, either just something in the software or somewhere there's a back door hidden in the programs that allow somebody in, and, even through commercially viable systems. So it's very pervasive throughout the country right now. Governments have gotten hit by it, state and local. If I remember right, Baltimore, I think a year ago, got hit with ransomware. So no one's really immune from this. So you have to protect yourself and make sure you have backups.
So someone at a company, I'm not necessarily talking about Cloudstar because no one really knows what's going on or taken out, but I'm just ABC title company. Someone opens a link, someone grabs an email that says, hey, here's a new title order. Just click below. It's got all the information right from our loan.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Here's the information on the escrows.
Yeah. And then the person at ABC title clicks on it. And typically what I've seen before is it logs you out of your email system. So the button, the action of clicking on that link logs you out of your email system. And then quickly pops a screen up that says, sorry, there's a hiccup in the internet. Please log back into your Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, Outlook, whatever it is. So the user thinks, well, that's weird. Doesn't think that what you actually did was click a link that logged you out. And now you're logging into your mail system, which is not your mail system, but it looks very much like your mail system. And you've just given your username and password to the hackers.
And they're in.
That's how they get in.
Yeah.
I've read a million things about that. We used a company in the past called KnowBe4, which is, I think it's the letter B and the number 4.com. If not, just Google it.
Yep.
And you can hire them to email your employees, and they'll fire legitimate looking emails at your staff all day, and your staff will, someone will fall for it and click on something they shouldn't. And then the know before reports them to the Dave Townsends of the world. And Dave Townsend walks out and taps Cindy on the shoulder and says, hey, we have to have a discussion here.
Yeah.
Or rather than telling Cindy to pack her stuff, know before enrolls Cindy into a couple training courses and videos on how to identify fraudulent emails. So
was that helpful for your team?
Yeah, it's really neat. And the best part of it is I get to write those emails. So I can write some very, very compelling emails to salespeople, escrow personnel, title people that look very, very good. Now they're better than what a hacker is going to write, because I'm going to specifically talk about there's an easement attached. I'm concerned over the west 10 feet. Click the attachment and let's talk about this. Call me. I'm Joe Blow at, Bank of America in New York. Legal.
You don't use the word kindly. So
right. Yeah. That's how you know it's a hack. So, but anyways, yeah, that's interesting. So then they get your software, or then they're in. So anyways, I just described how they're in. So they're in. Now, whatever happens after that, they lock up your system. Whether you can't log into your computer, whether your email is down, whether your software is down, whether you don't have access to your escrow checks, or maybe they've hacked into your bank account, whatever they've done. So having certain protocols in place would help. So this Cloudstar thing, it sounds like, from what we've read, and we don't know, we're just two guys on a podcast.
Yep.
It sounds like what? They locked up their cloud services, the title company.
Yeah. So Cloudstar was a hosting service for, quite a few title agencies and they had some other industries that they worked with, some banking, some other software, some oil and gas, apparently, some others, whoever hosted with them couldn't then get to their data at that point. So not only did they hit Cloudstar, but they hit, let's just say 40 other companies, across different industries.
And they say, look, Dave, if you want to log in and get this closing done Monday, cut us a check and we'll unlock your system.
Yeah, for $2 million. I don't know. It just, that's whatever, X amount of dollars. Just
and we don't know that.
Pay us this in Bitcoin and you'll get your information back.
Right. And if not, well, we sit there without any access.
Yeah. Here's how to get back in. We're going to give you everything but the password. And once you pay us, we'll give you the password.
Now, from what I understand, from what I read too, and again, I don't know anything. I'm just reading what I've seen in the title publications, is that, the people that subscribe were thinking, well, there's got to be a backup. And then the backups were also locked out too, from what I understand.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they did have multiple data sites, but they were, I don't know if they were on the same system or what, but they got into both of them.
So are we thinking we haven't really talked about this, but are we thinking that it might be best to have two separate competing cloud services? If your data is in the cloud, have a Rackspace and an Amazon or something, in case one goes down, you've got the other. I mean, what's the chances Rackspace and Amazon are going to get crushed?
Exactly. Are you storing at least a most recent backup somewhere else? I mean, you could go so many different ways with this. When we had our own servers here, we used to have a server here in the office plus one. Actually, we had a cloud server that backed up here to our office. Plus, then we would take a hard drive to the safe deposit box every other night. So we would only lose 1 day's worth of data if like both fail safes happen. So, I mean, as a company, if you are you're doing some type of remote hosting, somehow getting a backup every at least week of your data, then okay, I'm out a week then of data, worst case scenario. If this happens to me, I can back up. Yeah. But where do you store that? Is it secure? How does that work? Right. So mirrored sites, etc. You've just got to be very careful with your data because it's not about redundancy, it's resiliency at this point.
Hey, one thing.
I think the key is talk to your, whoever does your hosting to find out where you have backups, accessibility. If like, God forbid, a ransomware event does happen to you, is there a way to prevent that and shut down, basically isolate that system and then be back up somewhere else?
Right. By the way, before we get any further, I want to congratulate Megan Hernandez for answering the trivia question that floats trivia question. And she's right. I like my sugar with coffee and cream from the Beastie Boys. So great job, Megan. We'll send you your gift. A little bit later, I'll let you know who won the second trivia contest question.
Excellent. I think we have a That Floats keychain.
We do. So let me ask you this, David. Here's the scary part for me is, our IT guys are asking, what happens now with these title companies that are locked out? I mean, I assume they'll spin up a new server and recreate the data and move forward. Maybe their archive stuff's locked out for a while until this is resolved or whatever. But
and I know, hey, to their credit, there were a lot of industry partners that stepped up to help out companies. I know, like Qualia and other SoftPro and other software providers, Ransomware, they were able to really help out the the agents that were affected by this. So they stopped, dropped, and rolled. And it's nice to see our industry come together to help people out like that, because really you're helping the consumer.
So I guess competing data centers, right? Or redundancies.
Department of Redundancy Department, exactly. Yeah. So it's, resiliency is the key word. It's how do you avoid even going down, having the proper firewalls in place and all that. But if that happens, having a backup that you can restore quickly. Should
people watching this just think when it happens to them, not if it will happen to them?
Yeah.
I think
it's kind of like wire fraud. It's not if, it's when. It's going to hit somebody, and to what degree at that point.
Have a plan in place. Mm-hmm. Smarter than a tape backup that's sitting where everyone can see it.
Exactly.
For sure.
Hey, speaking of high standards, I heard you just went to Alta Large Agents in Beaver Creek. Some high standards there.
I'm not even going to touch that one, David. That's just a low blow. Yeah, it was fun. We had a really good 2 days of meetings in Beaver Creek in Colorado. It was a lot of fun. A lot of M&A activity discussions. Yep. A lot of IT virtual stuff, artificial intelligence, robotic type stuff. A lot of neat discussions in that. It's everything that we probably have touched on this podcast in the last couple months. How to hire, how to recruit, how to train people. What are you doing about office positions you've had open for months you can't fill? What are you doing with the overflow orders? What are we thinking for the economy in the next 6 to 8 months? It's all of that. It was a great meeting.
So you can either spend your money going to Beaver Creek, or you can watch That Floats.
That's right.
Okay.
Both.
I like it. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it's a good meeting. But yeah, I promise you, I bet you at Alta One and NS3, it's going to be the talk of the town on cloud and hosting and protection and data security and all of that. So you're not going to get all of that from us on this podcast, but it's certainly something.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, if you're a title agent out there that's not really keyed into Alta, Large Agents could be a great place to dip your toe in the water.
It could be, but it's also gotten really large. So we might have to look at, a smaller or some breakout sessions or something, because it's hard when there's 60 to 70 people in a room, trying to share a concept here and there. And it turns more into a lecture. Someone sits up and talks for an hour, and that's kind of more of the conferences.
Not as collaborative as it used to be.
Yeah, this is supposed to be more, 20, 30 people sharing ideas and exploring. It's hard to have 60 people talk.
Yeah.
So we're looking at other ways. I've been co-chair of that, or vice chair, or whatever it is, for a couple of decades. So it's definitely a challenge to keep that group engaged. I mean, you've got a lot of CEOs of title companies in there sitting for a day and a half. So we've got to keep the content really good. So,
yeah.
All right. So we talked about, by the way, I also wanted to thank or congratulate our other trivia question answer, Patrick Hempen at SoftPro, who answered, why don't you put her in charge? Was a line from Aliens, where Bill Paxton was irritated at the little girl Newt said to Sigourney Weaver, why don't we put her in charge? So congrats, Patrick Hempen at SoftPro, for getting that right.
Another good floaty.
Another great floaty. So,
and pretty soon here, we're going to have our Alta One preview. That'll come out after the NS3, but we've got some surprises up our sleeves for Alta One, I believe, floaties.
I mean, Alta 1 is just going to be a monster this year.
Yeah.
Just going to be a monster. So should be a blast. I mean, again, New Orleans in October. I mean, you can't beat it.
Yeah, a lot of people released into the wild for the first time. And Craig, you can find the host of that floats, by the way, DNS3, if you have more questions about this, at Cabana number 10.
Did you rent the Cabana? Oh, man.
Some people rent hospitality suites. I have a Cabana.
So make sure you have plenty of SPF 700 for that dome of yours. And
exactly.
My little forehead here. So we'll get that going. All right, my friend. Anything else?
No, it's good to see you. And I look forward to seeing you here soon.